All right, first things first, as usual, like I said, today I want to talk about immigration and deportation. I know this is a really hot topic, especially right now, but it's so important to talk about. It's a physical consequence of a society that has forgotten how to have empathy and care for others. It's a physical consequence of imbalance between the individual and the collective, leaning more into the individual than anything else. But it's not just this imbalance that is the crux of the issue alone. It's also a consequence of not expanding the mind. It reminds me of a childhood favorite movie of mine that I recently started watching again through reactions on reaction channels. And it speaks to the bookworm in me, where at the end, Richard, the boy, is fighting a dragon, and when he lands at the higher level of the tower that leads to the exit of the library, the book that fell on him was titled Atlas Shrugged, and he struggled at first to get out from under it. And if you haven't pieced it together, it's called The Page Master. So just to give a quick synopsis from Google, Atlas Shrugged is about a dystopian America where the government's increasing control and oppressive laws lead to a decaying society and the mysterious disappearance of its most productive thinkers and industrialists. Is that not what's happening now? The struggle to escape the grasp of the individual? To escape the lie that those individuals on top owe nothing to the collective? The struggle to expand the mind? The fight for freedom and for knowledge? Men, women, and children being disappeared off the streets simply because of what they believe or what they look like or what they do? Sound familiar? It is overall a symptom of a society that is on the brink of change. Change that the people that thrive in hierarchy would like to keep intact. We're being metaphorically and ideologically hit over the head with reality, just like Richard in that scene I mentioned before, and are being called to step up, or the consequences will be more dire than what we are experiencing right now. There's a need to have empathy, yes, but there's an inherent need to get creative in our approach to others, to see several things from a different perspective or a different point of view. If you see something from someone else's point of view, it shows you that person has inherent value as a living, breathing human being, for one. And it shows you that the treatment that they are receiving isn't something that should be inflicted on anyone in any semblance of a developed society, even the remnants thereof. This is all a symptom of the propaganda working. The fear, the word choice, the tone, all of it. It affects all of us. But it's up to you how you react, or lack thereof, to it. So far, we've been fairly creative, and we've seen each other's humanity to a point, but there are still so many that have not woken up to the dangers of what we are experiencing, thinking they are untouchable. But the camps like Alligator Alcatraz show us through animal symbolism that they represent strength, protection, rebirth, adaptability, patience, balance, and wisdom through the symbolism of the alligator. So despite naming it that to elicit fear, it's one big projection on a societal level. It's the shadow showing you what you need to learn, but it's also asking you to change, specifically on how you view immigrants in this case. Clearly, that you need to strengthen them, protect them, change your heart through the rebirth of your thought process about them, especially, adapt to change, have patience with it, and find balance and wisdom within yourself to see it that way, especially doing your research on why immigrants are important in the first place for our society in America. But unfortunately, a lot of people will not see it that way. And it's never going to be 100% of everybody that will see it that way. Although if we have a majority, it'll be a little easier. Because that's what regimes fear the most, is knowledge. Knowledge and expression. Because to have one, you have the other. And when you have them, it's a threat to the system. Because if you can keep the people from having knowledge, They will be afraid of what they don't understand. The people. Making it easier for them to create targets, aka unwilling bodyguards as I call them, so that we take our anger out on ourselves versus those who would like to keep their power intact with a system specifically designed to create those circumstances and perpetuate them. They want to capitalize their power, if you catch my drift. That's really what this system is all about. Money and power. That's it. Nothing else. That's why it needs to change. For the betterment of all, not just the few. How we change that? By learning all we can, but especially about politics, propaganda, and political power, regardless of political affiliation. You also yell La Migra when they're nearby and you are in an area full of people who might not be of legal status. When we see that the two wings are a part of the same bird, as some say, we'll see it's really not a battle between parties. It's a battle between classes. You just have to connect the dots with whatever tools you can. Anything can be a tool if you view it with the right perspective. Hence why I call this prism vision. Turn the prism in just the right light, you get a different perspective and a different color of light or a different shape. Knowledge in general, along with action, will save us. But remember, as always, keep your mind and your heart open. Peace.